Jody O'Hara here with the Stone County Enterprise Tomcat Insider, joined by Coach Brian Oakes and Coach Todd Miller from Stone High School. Gentlemen, thanks for coming back this week. Coach Oakes, a tough loss at Brookhaven last Friday night, 28-19, somewhat reminiscent of the Picayune game. You had an incredible second half, but mistakes in the first half cost you dearly, and you weren't able to bring it all back. So.
Yeah, I mean, we just dug ourselves, a hole early, Jody, and just we're never able to overcome that.
Coach Miller and I were there.
You earlier than me.
I got there a little earlier. Coach Miller was having a good barbecue dinner while I was fretting and worrying with equipment up on top of the press box. We got a text from Coach Pasley. Said that we were whining too much and it was sour grapes. But I got to tell you, there were some horrendous calls by the officials in this football game.
I'm not a football coach, so I can't be. No money can be taken out of my wallet.
There you go.
But if I was, I'd probably have to pay a fine because I know Coach Oakes don't believe officials. We as coaches believe officials can't win or lose a game for us. But I tell you what, you saw
they can make it difficult.
They made it difficult Friday night.
They made it very difficult. There was an intentional grounding, and we've talked about this at your office on Monday, and you said that probably was a correct call to make, but the official waited a long time to make it until a Brookhaven coach got in his ear about it.
Yeah, obviously, you had and I'm not going to sit here and bash the rest, but obviously you had a few delayed calls. The pass interference. What was that in the second? It was in the second quarter there. It was a little late there, and then you come back and you get two calls on their sides there. They're a little late. Like I said, the intentional grounding was a justifiable call. I mean, it was the right call, but it was just so happened to be a little late. But anyway, don't like blaming those guys. I just feel like that we need to do our part to try to keep human error element out of the football game. But sometimes it's just tough to do.
They made it real difficult. You try to get a little aggressive. They won the opening toss. They defer, so you got the ball first,
right.
and then they're going to have the ball
to open up
that second half. So you try to get a little aggressive when you went down 21-6, and that resulted in an interception.
Yeah.
And bang! Right away they stick it in the end zone again. You really had a hole to dig your way out of for that second half.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we go in at halftime down 28-6. Obviously not what we wanted out of the first half. Not, I tell you, I can say this now because the ball game's over. Usually, if you ask me any given Friday, you'll never get an answer out of me. But if you'd asked me, were we ready to play before that game Friday, I believe I'd have had to say yes. And you sit there and you wonder where did we lose it? And I'm just sitting here thinking that, we had about an hour, delay right there. We got off the field right at 6, maybe a little bit before. Didn't get back out there till about, 5 or 10 minutes till 6. And I think we may have dropped maybe 3 or 4 balls in pregame warm-ups. And, we were just, it's like we had Velcro and, Clayton, Clayton, the other quarterback, were making some good throws. Just felt like that. We were, real sharp in our pregame warm-ups this week. So, just didn't come out with the same fire, I guess.
I had talked with my photographer down on the field long before you guys even went out for warm-ups, and was talking about you had to be off the field at 6, and her question was, well, is that good or bad? And I said, well, I guess it can be either good or bad. You go out there, you get warmed up, and then you got to go sit in the locker room for an hour, and you're going to cool back off.
Right.
It's not going to make it any easier. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back and talk about that second half.
Hudson Farm Supply at 336 Hall Street in Wiggins is your home for all things farm related. With feed, seed, fertilizer, farm clothing, horse tack, and pet supplies, including wormers and vaccinations, Hudson Farm Supply can meet your needs with a friendly, knowledgeable staff dedicated to the highest levels of customer service. If you have a farm supply related question and the staff at Hudson Farm Supply do not have the answer, they won't rest until they get it. Proud supporters of Tomcat Athletics, Matt Hudson and Joel Miles invite you to stop by Hudson Farm Supply, sit a spell, and rehash this week's game.
One land fillet, one scratch, and 2 corn.
Thank you very much.
Come shop with us at Hudson Farm Supply.
We're back at the Tomcat Insider. Coach Oaks, second half Friday night. You get that kickoff. You kick off a pooch kick, and I want to talk. I'd like an explanation. Coach Miller and I were talking when we were calling that game Friday night that so much this year we've seen, not only from the Tomcats, but from your opponents. That pooch kick, that short to about the opponent's 40, 35-yard line.
Right.
What is the purpose behind what?
Well, I mean, you got a couple of different things here. I mean, obviously, you know, with the pooch, I mean, you look at it a couple of different ways, I guess, and we can go through the scenarios here. I mean, if they have a couple of good return guys, you know, obviously want to try to take the ball out of their hands. You know, right now, just don't feel that we can consistently, you know, put the ball in the end zone right now. So that's another thing. You know, we, you know, don't get it high enough and deep enough. Now my kickoff coverage team doesn't get down there before it gets in those playmakers' hands.
Before they develop.
You know, if it's not a, you know, real high kick and it's kind of low line drive, you know, now the ball gets in their hands faster, and now those guys can make plays.
Right.
So I mean, you know, you look at it that way. Then another deal right there is, I mean, you kick from one hash all the way over to the other hash. If you get that thing up high enough, now the whole side, whichever side you're kicking it from, now that side has time to get down there about the same time the ball does.
Sure.
And now you know, we're hoping the margin for error is bigger right there. You know, maybe they have, you know, been coached up on it. You know, some guys, you know, I know I've done it in the past. I'll move. I know a team's gonna pooch. You know, I'll move one of my better players up there. You know, some teams don't, you know, because I tell you what we do, and it's not a secret, but we'll switch hashes. You know, one time we'll go over here, and we may pick on a guy. You know, if you leave that guy there, but you know, about the time the ball's getting there, hopefully our guys are getting there if they're going full speed. And then, you know, maybe if we catch a guy that's not there a lot, that handles a lot of kickoffs, does not handle the ball a lot. Now we, you know, maybe we put a little pressure on him. Do I fair catch the ball? Has he been coached to fair catch the ball? Does he forget to fair catch the ball? And that kind of thing. So we just put a little bit of pressure on those guys on the return team right there with the short pooches.
And it definitely worked at the beginning of the second half. Now, from where we were, it didn't look like anybody touched the ball. That a Stone player just fell on it. It hit, took a Stone bounce, kind of came back towards your players.
Well, what they were saying is they said that he fair caught the ball. I mean, I guess he gave it was not a definitive, you know, hand gesture, but I guess he swung his hand. It took them a few minutes to cipher. You know, and I was sitting there in their ear the whole time. I said, look, he never made an attempt to catch the football.
Right.
I mean, you know, the ball hits from us to the garbage can over there, and I mean, if you're going to make if you're going to attempt to catch the football, hopefully you're going to be closer from me to that garbage can over there. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, the ball hits probably 6 or 7 feet in front of him. He never made an attempt to catch it. That's what I kept telling those guys. He never made an attempt to catch it. The ball hit the ground. We can recover the football.
You got to give him 3 yards. What do you got to do?
You just got to give him. Yeah, you just got to give him. You know,
the opportunity to catch the
football. Yeah, before you hit him, you can't be right on it there. But you know, the other thing is they can kind of bite you right there if they get the football. You know, now you're looking at, you know, possibly, you know, working on a short field there instead of them having to go the distance. You know, the distance. Excuse me, but you just kind of play the game right there. Is all it is, a chess match, and you know, what do you want to give up? What do you want to go after? And this, that, and the other. So it's just one of those decisions you make, and you have to live with it and stick with it and move on.
Nice to have a kicker that you know will consistently put the ball in the end zone and give an
obviously,
80-yard field.
Obviously, you know, that would be a plus. You know, I don't know that we would have as many pooches if you know, we could, you know, consistently have touchbacks.
Will we see the pink shoes Friday night?
That's Sam's soccer shoes. I mean, that's the soccer shoes that he'll be wearing this soccer season, which is right around the corner.
Will we be seeing them? That ain't
I
even worse.
I mean, that's what it's,
There was a lot of talk about the pink shoes. I even had the photographer go over and take a picture.
Well, I mean, that's-
Get a
I mean,
picture of those shoes.
I mean, that's, you know, Sam's just, I guess, breaking them in before soccer season a little bit, you know. I mean, those are his soccer cleats, and I
They're
think
cool.
they got a game, 2 weeks from this past Saturday.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, next Saturday.
Right.
First game, opening game on the 6th.
Right.
So the pooch kick was successful. You guys recovered the ball. You go down. Josh James rushes the ball into the end zone. You get what Coach Tucker Peavy and the Daily Leader chose to call a cheap touchdown. But you know what? No matter how cheap it was, 7 points still went up on the board. And now your defense stiffened up. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that in there. Your defense stiffened up. You didn't allow any points in the second half.
Right.
What kind of adjustments did you make for Trevorius Showers was just doing a heck of a job running the football, and I know that we've talked about DeJuan Harris, their quarterback. He'd hurt you last year, so you had to key on him, but Showers really took up his share of the load and he was running that ball.
Right. You know, they just did a good job. I mean, we missed some tackles and you know, had a few blown assignments over there in the first half, and I just think we did a better job in the second half of you know, making a few tackles right there. And you know, good football teams are going to make plays, and you know, I was just glad to see our defense got stiff right there in the second half, and you know, we were able to keep them out of the end zone and give our offense a chance to try to get us back in the football game.
You still put up better than 300 yards of offense on
Right.
the night too. So, end of the night, one more touchdown to Cade, 4-yard pass to Cade, and then the PATs blocked. There was no time. What was there? 46 seconds, I think, left on the clock. There, there wasn't nothing you were going to do. So you've fallen to 3-6. You're 1-3. Is that correct? 1-4 in conference. Let's take a quick commercial. We'll come back and talk about how this whole playoff picture might work out.